My name is Terry Phillips, and I'm from Nixa, Missouri. Getting ready to go on a bear hunt, especially in Washington. I'd never been there before. I had been to Oregon twice, unsuccessful, but had great experience. We saw some bear while we were there, just never did get a chance to get one. Missed one the year before, and so going to Washington, it was going to be a backcountry experience. We were going to pack in, so it was. I was very nervous about it, didn't know what to expect, but was looking forward to it there too.
All right, guys, so we're all checked into Springfield, waiting on our flight to Denver, and then Denver to Pascal, Washington, and meet Luke Carrick at Guiderite Adventures. I'm holding the mule deer tag, and Terry's holding the bear tag. So it'll be an interesting hunt. We'll have both of us hunting at the same time. If we see a bear, Terry's tagging a bear. If we see a mule deer, I'm tagging a mule deer. So I'm really looking forward to it. We're going to get there tonight about 5:30, and Luke's going to pick us up. By the time we get to camp, I think it's going to be dark, so we're going to set up a temporary camp, go through some of our stuff, and then we're going to get up in the morning, and we're going to get into base camp that's about 3 to 4 miles in, and maybe shoot the rifle a little bit, and then get to hunting. So I'm pretty excited, and hope safe travels, and we'll see you over there. All right, so we finally made it. Met up with Luke, our guide here. Say hi, Luke.
What's up?
And so, what town are we in?
Little town of Dayton.
Heading up the mountain. We got about another hour. Stopping here, top off fuel, snacks. Final stop before we're up the mountain. So we're gonna stay in base camp tonight. It's a wall tent, and Luke's got 2 camps set up. He's got one backcountry camp and then one closer so we can get organized. So we're gonna be getting up in the morning and getting after him, shooting the gun a little bit, and then get out hunting tomorrow.
Tons of stars. I'm back a ways. I'm probably back 30 yards from him. Take the shot. 2 green shooting stars go through. Keeps nice and cool.
All right, it's morning 1. We slept last night, threw some snoring, and no wolves howling, but Luke said there's some wolves just right down here howling the night before. Actually never thought I'd say this, but I kind of wanted to hear them. But we're gonna shoot the gun a little bit, have some breakfast. We're kind of taking it easy this morning, no rushing. And then we're gonna get out this afternoon and do some hunting. I guess there's some canyons right around here. Obviously you can hunt all next to camp. But this is wall tent camp, base camp. And then there's a backcountry camp we're gonna go to after 2 or 3 days. And so, obviously pretty excited. He's got the setup here.
Just to feel the gun, we're gonna shoot these guys here.
Yeah.
But for hunting,
Remember trigger control. Pop that safety up whenever you're ready.
Holy shit, I'll take those earplugs. So we just got to the end of the ridge, peeled off our sweaty clothes, put on dry ones, hung our sweaty stuff out to dry in the sun. I've got some glassing to do, let me tell you. I'm looking at something I could sit here all day and pick it apart. So that's what I'm gonna do. Terry's gonna be sitting with me. I'm gonna tell you right now, we shoot one right here. We're in for quite the pack out. That's what we're here for. We covered about 6 miles, 3 in, 3 out. Glass for 6 hours or so, and nothing today. But on the way out, we saw a big bull elk. That was pretty cool. Got some footage of him, and beautiful weather. Couldn't beat the weather. 50 degrees. Shoot, we were peeling off clothes. So we're gonna see how we feel in the morning. Hopefully, head into backcountry camp. So we got about a 2-hour hike, sounds like, and we'll be after him again.
Some wood, and holy cow, was it really thick for you guys?
Ooh.
You guys don't think I'm soaked, you ought to feel them binos.
Binos are soaked.
Soaked completely through.
How many miles was that in, Luke?
3 miles, sir. An hour and 50 minutes.
Would have been faster if not for Grandpa.
You were fine.
They're here.
Yep.
See all that? It's all yours.
Say that again.
All that country out there is all your guys's. Nobody else out there, guarantee it.
You ready, Terry?
Huh?
Ready to shoot you a bear?
Yes.
What color?
Any.
Any. Okay, cool. Point. We're gonna do some glassing here and hopefully see something. No more hiking for a while until we shoot some. Alright, so Luke just hiked back up here from his glassing point because he's been looking through the trail cam pictures, and he showed me a massive alpha wolf. It's collared, and there was another black wolf. 3 cougars on the camera at the same time. And then a couple giant bucks. So, what a spot. It makes me a little more weary as a Midwesterner to know there's a big alpha wolf right by where we're camping, and cougars running in pairs of 3. So this is the real deal. Check this out. It's hot. Freaking 60 degrees. That was 134 yards. There's the other one. Yep. So what do you think?
Well, I survived.
What do you think about tomorrow, possibly?
Well, let's hope it pans out.
That's all you got?
Hope he shows back up again. He's 2,500 yards from us. So I guess we'll go a little further in. See what we can do. See if old Grandpa can make it. I'm pretty excited.
It's a good thing to go out on though, right?
Oh,
You're getting
yeah.
a little tired and then see that.
Yeah, I was ready to take a nap tomorrow. But I'll push through it. That's what we're here for.
Digging some shit up.
I would say he is. That's what I kept looking for, is the tore up spots over there on that side of the hill, but didn't see any.
He almost looks black. When I first saw it, I thought he was black.
Yeah.
We took off that morning and we hiked to our spot to shoot the bear. It took about almost 3 hours for us to get there. I think we left about 5:30 that morning, and it was well after 8 when we got to our setup, where Luke had seen the bear the day before and knew we had to get to that area to have a shot at him. I was exhausted when I got there. Like I said, that was my first pack-in hiking experience, so it was difficult, but Luke was really good about setting a pace that you could handle, and getting us there and ready to kill a bear.
All right, guys, so we located the bear. We're waiting on Terry to get down to the gun. I'm waiting on him in between. Luke's getting set up, so it's go time. Hopefully Terry can shoot straight. You ready? I like Jello. Get your ass down there and shoot this bear. Where's he at? Come on, this way. Let me get behind you real quick.
Just start searching your scope. Looking for him through your scope. Alright? Because it's going to be a lot easier if you find him first than it is for us to talk you.
Work your way up the ridge, Terry. See if there's any angle.
He's in that timber, so keep looking, look for movement.
You guys got right on top of me.
Got him? Yeah. Stand by. Still 25. I got you. Don't worry about it. Okay.
Make sure you use your zoom, Terry. He's not zoomed in.
Watch your shell.
Make sure you
Just let him go. Stops.
Caitlin, you want him zoomed in? He's gonna go behind that tree, Terry.
Just let him. 447. Give me range 450, Luke. 450? Yep.
There he is. Right on a range.
.5.
Where'd he go? Behind the tree.
Shit, Luke, he's gonna have to move.
There's one gap left if he moves right.
He's going left or right?
Can you see that?
He's going to the left.
Can you see that gap, Terry? To the left of that tree. That's where he's coming. Be on it. He's coming through there.
No, he's eating right now. He's facing to the right. He's coming down. Terry, if he gives you a shot, man, you gotta shoot him. Oh, is he in that bush?
Yeah.
You got one more good cap. Terry, do you have it right now? Dude, you got it. Yeah, he's right there.
He's still on
You
the
gotta
right.
find him. The right end. Get him off 18 power. He's
That's the bottom.
there. Yeah, there he is. See the dead snag? He's right through that dead snag. Shoot him now.
Got him. Down.
Dropped him.
Get another round and get on him.
Just watch him. Just watch him.
I've lost him again. Sorry.
Here. Watch him. He's not
Right,
getting up.
right below. You need to.
You can't see him, Luke. He's in the.
You can put another round in because I think you hit him in the spine.
We can find that branch. There's that branch. Okay.
All right, he's right below. He's not moving.
Okay.
Keep watching him. If he gives you another shot, shoot him again. But I think Luke, I think he pinwheeled him.
Yeah, it was high. It looked like spine.
Did it?
Yeah. I can reback it, but yeah, he
Good shot, Terry. Good shot, Terry.
Lucky bear down by 8:45, buddy.
job, man.
Thank you. Wes, thanks.
Yep. Good shot. Shot surprised me.
I didn't think I was going to get down here, guys. My legs went to noodles. I'm serious. That's why I was so far behind him.
Oh no, you had it in the bag.
Yeah, we saw him down here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was.
So he was moving,
He was
huh?
325 yards when we first saw him.
What was that?
450.
Really?
I've been waiting since yesterday to hear him running up the hill instead of walking. I heard them running. I'm like, oh yeah.
He ain't moving.
No, he's done. He's done.
I wish it had been a little better shot, but I feel great.
Oh, it's a great shot.
He's down. I mean, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, it's a great shot.
It's gonna take us probably a good.
Luke, so you came down here and he was just right here below us?
Yeah, sir. He came out right here.
Yeah, we were talking, and then I just glanced down there. I was like, oh, look, there he is.
I was explaining to Kalen that there's a couple dens right down here, and I've seen him come out of this den right up in this and feed in here. As soon as I was pointing like this, Kalen's like, there he is. And last night when I left him at 6 o'clock, he was right there.
He was up there, wasn't he? Yeah.
So what's next?
Go get him.
Eat some snacks, drink some water, and
Yeah, it's gonna take us
well,
maybe an hour to get there.
yeah. I got good water down there, so drink up all you can, because we'll pump more if you need.
Bring it on over, man.
I'm gonna shoot some pics.
Actually, why don't you just hold
Let
him?
me hold it. I can do it.
Those little guys were too. Just keep filling it right up, man.
I don't think it does. Keep an eye on those hillsides. Keep an eye on the hillsides. I think he was above this right here. You're gonna have to help me out on your what you were looking at in the scope, because there was a tree with dead stuff on the bottom right, which is this tree, but he was above the dead shit, I think. Right?
There was a tree kind of laying at a 45-degree angle.
Like this one right here, above me? Up on the top of this?
I just don't know. I think it's just further up. That one up there's that point sticking up.
I don't know, because it came behind this tree we just went by. And then that tree I remember had dead stuff on the right. But I remember you could barely see him over the top of it.
Right here, then.
Right.
I don't see any blood.
I wonder if they had eyes on him when he ran off. It sounded like they did. This had to have been the spot right here. What? Terry, I got him dead right here. Swear to God. Hey, Luke, got him dead right here. Dude, I walked right on him. Damn near stepped on him. Oh. Huh?
I'm done.
I hear you. Come on, your bear's right here. That's all you gotta do. We'll probably he'd probably have to, I don't know if we can pull him out in the sun. Wow, so you guys were there with me. I got up on top of this ridge because I just felt like that bear was above this deadfall, and he was. And I about stepped on him. Oh, yeah. Beauty. Pretty bear.
Ooh, shit. Making noise.
What?
Oh, that's the exit, huh?
That's the exit. Whew.
A little far back.
Nope.
Entrance is right
there.
Money shot.
Just the shock. Is the shock.
Really?
Just it looked like it vibrated here.
I mean, you smoked
Well, I
him.
thought I
So is it getting any better than that?
I thought I had
yeah,
him.
man. Good
Thank
shot.
you. Appreciate
Beautiful bear,
shot.
man.
Thank you very
Beautiful
much.
bear.
Very much.
That's almost as dark chocolate as you'll ever get. I mean, that is close to black.
That is pretty.
Well, I'm with Luke, Carrick, and Guiderite Adventures, and Wes, my son-in-law, and we came in this morning, left camp about a little before 6, tracked in, came about 3 hours later. They hollered at me that they'd found the bear, and we worked our way in, and they got me all set up. Hit a 450-yard shot and piled him up, one shot through the boiler room, and came up on the mountain and came in and found him. And this is my first backwoods adventure, and it was well worth it. We had a great time. We've got to get Wes a muley, but this was what I've been working for 3 years, and had been on a couple other hunts and never did make it work, and Luke put us right on it and coached me right through it, and did a super job. Very, very happy.
We got wolves howling down in the canyon while we're cleaning this bear. Pretty crazy. I don't know if you can hear them on here or not. It's right there.
Well, we got up to the top and proceeded to dress the bear and get him prepared to take him out. We quartered him up, you know, did everything we needed to do, and as the process was ending, Luke slipped and cut his inside of his right leg with the knife, and at that point Kaylin and I proceeded to clean the wound and pack it so that they could get ready to head on out because he was going to have to go get stitches. So we were in a rush to get him prepared. We told Kaylin and Luke to go on without us, and they told us to get to the top of the ridge and follow the ridge line down to the path, and they did a really good job of leaving us little markers on the way, and it was just one of the most exhausting things I think I've ever done. We were literally straight up. It took us about 2.5, 3 hours to get to the top.
Oh my gosh, we're about 200 yards from the top of this, probably the steepest ridge in this canyon in the Blue Mountains. And we've taken probably a good 1.5 to 2 hours just to get here, and then we've got another 3 to 4 hour hike along that ridge all the way back to camp, way over here. Lord be with us.
That was probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
I think me too. Physically, hardest thing, and mentally.
Yeah.
So we're in a kind of a situation here. So we were deep in the canyon, and Luke, who's a great guide, had a rock, I think, knocking, as he's cleaning it, knock into his leg, cuts his leg open, bleeding bad. And they're having to mark the trail on the way back. They're having to blaze out of here ahead of us. And Terry and I are just barely making it. And we got about 1 water bottle left, so. Oh.
Hopefully we'll make it.
It's crazy. We'll make it. It might be dark. We made it to the top. All right, so we're drying out, switch shirts, switching socks, letting the feet air out. Terry's got new top on. No service though. We're hoping to shoot out a few text messages. And we got about 3-4 hours ahead of us, all the way across the canyon. All right, so we're back on our way. We made it back up to the top of the ridge. It's a big meadow all the way until we hit the next ridge. And then it's another 3 hours, probably 2.5. So we're feeling better. Terry got some dry socks. I forgot an extra pair of socks, so always bring that because I'm really wishing I did. So we got the rifle, so we're gonna hunt our way out. Maybe if I can get lucky and shoot a mule deer. Stay tuned. Yep. If you think I was bullshitting you that we were in a situation, our guides are having to leave us marks and arrows to get us back. So it's actually, so far, kind of an interesting experience. Hopefully it stays just that. All right, so this is actually getting kind of real. We're running out of daylight, and we just walked about half a mile the wrong way. Missed toilet paper hanging in the tree right there. So, man, we're just hitting the woods. We got a couple hours till dark. So it's like borderline. When do you stop and try to make sure you're okay for the night for fire? Because all I've got's a fire starter. I've never used one. All right, here's the update. Found a trail. Heading up the ridge. Feel like we're making progress. It's getting dark. Check out this elk rub. Look at that thing. Doing all right? I bet we got another hour, 45 minutes or an hour. We're close, man. We made it.
Yes,
and
sir.
Kaylin was waiting on us with the fire and bear steaks. We were documenting the whole extravaganza.
Very cool, man. That's awesome.
There was a point where we were laughing, and there was a point where I was kind of going, well.
I thought that might have gone through y'all's head after a little while.
After we missed that first turn and got all the way down the end of that meadow, I thought, well, I hate to dive off into the woods, but once we saw the toilet paper, I was good with it.
Right.
And then once I saw that there was a trail, because I kept remembering Luke saying there wasn't a trail, but he was talking about the meadow.
Yeah.
So once I saw the trail, I'm like, well, shit, we could do this in the dark.
I'm gonna try to.
Wow. Whoever says they don't like this,
It's crazy.
It's insane. It tastes just like steak.
You know, this hunt with Luke is something that was really 2 years in the making. And, you know, going into the fourth day, we had 8 days to hunt. So we had 4 full days after that to go after a mule deer. And, you know, this story really speaks to a success and a successful hunt and a failure and a failed hunt. And not for any other reason than, you know, some misfortune. And I've had a lot of fortune in my time hunting, and I've made some shots that were a lot worse than the shot I made on this mule deer and recovered the animal. So this was definitely the biggest mental challenge I've ever gone through as a hunter, and it definitely had me down on this trip. Physically and mentally, I was exhausted before we even started that day 5, and to go out there on that Saturday, the way the story goes was we were hiking back out of spike camp to base camp on Sunday. So on Saturday, Luke and I, which was day 5, Luke and I went out after this mule deer and were successful, I thought. And so I was extremely thrilled because we were going to be able to go down there, get this thing cleaned up, get our photos. It was in the morning, which is my favorite, because you shoot it in the morning, you've got all day to take photos, you've got all day to do everything you want content-wise. And we were going to leave the next day. We're going to have some time to relax and celebrate. And man, did my world change fast. So to take you back through the shot, Luke and I had got out before daylight, and we had hiked in. We'd hiked a long ways, and we sat down about 11:30 at the spot we shot the deer. We had some top ramen. It was hot. It was like 60 degrees. It's sunny. Luke had just got up from his spot and moved back into the shade. And it was one of those days, I'm not afraid to admit, that you just knew your chances were really slim. For the weather we had, these deer were bedded, they were in the shade, they were hot like we were. Everything was against us. And that speaks towards Luke as a guide a lot, because he never hesitated. He never gave you the feeling of slowing down at all. And it paid off.
Definitely alert.
Three, all the way. Three. On three, number three. You take them when you're ready. I didn't get the video. Oh, got him good, look like? For sure, he jumps. Good eye, Luke. Holy cow. He's shaking his head.
Alright, we just got a shot on a mule deer, 685. It wasn't a pretty good setup. He had me on a bag. I was pretty far laying downhill, so I had to rest my neck until he got range. And then when I got him back in the scope, he had stood up from being bedded and he'd already taken a step. So we dialed it to 3 and I got it right in his shoulder, steady, squeezed it, and he did a mule kick, but that's all we know so far. So hopefully we can recover him.
12:30 in the afternoon.
Okay.
On a hot day.
Yeah. What do you think about it?
It was a good, good looking kick.
Okay. And he was quartered away, so that should help.
Yeah. So he's laying there. Last I saw him, he's went that yellow stuff right through there, and then went behind that dark timber right there.
Oh, you did see him running?
Yeah, he ran through the yellow bush right, or that yellow stuff right, just to the left. And then behind that dark timber.
Okay.
I haven't seen him go out the bottom. Scan the hell out of this for a while.
What'd you say was a 4-point?
It's a nice 4-point.
It is. Yeah. Sweet. Reassuring, and I had asked him afterwards, how'd it look, and he said it looked good. He did a good kick. But Luke, being the guide he is, he knew that we were way too early to celebrate, and so, we sat there at 12:30, and we took 30 minutes before we headed down. We had about an hour and a half hike to get down and up the canyon, and so we get over there, we get up the hill, and we start coming down and right about that time we look down and there's blood, and so the interesting thing about that is, and the bad thing is, this deer had ran uphill a good 50 yards where we crossed the blood trail from where he was bedded. Yep. There's a big plant track right there.
Going uphill.
Oh, okay. You got more? Lay down.
Long coughing stuff up.
Okay. So Luke's tracking him, and we've got blood going downhill above the bed. So it's confusing because we've got blood going downhill and uphill. No idea. Everywhere.
Standing right there. That's coming out his non-hit side, the outside, right?
Yeah, because I hit him in the left.
Coming out the right there. Unless he's leaning right against the tree, but I doubt it. Coming out the right side.
Alright guys, so we're going in circles here, but what we're thinking is we bumped him coming from this way, and he ran that way, so he doubled back on his tracks because it looks like the blood splatter was going downhill, and Luke said he saw a slide. Man, so you can't come this far for it not to come together. Lots of blood.
So yeah, so we lose the blood, and you know, we had been out there. This was day 5, and it's just the worst thing you can imagine. Flying from Missouri to Washington after, you know, almost 2 years of waiting on this hunt, and just being physically exhausted. Finally thinking you made it happen, finding a lot of blood, and then having to walk away from that. Was tough. It was definitely tough. And so we got back to camp, and then having to relive it was tough. But you know, all we can hope for that deer is that it sealed up, you know, and it lived through it. Because obviously we hate not to recover an animal after shooting it, but that's part of it. We all try to make, you know, we all try to take ethical shots. And with this gun, this was a shot that we'd made over and over again, that we'd practiced at camp the day before, and it was no problem. And so that's the story of my mule deer. And you know, if anything, it makes me want to go after them even worse. And I'll be back after those mountain bucks. These mule deer are cows. I mean, compared to these deer, I've seen these white-tailed deer. These things were just fat and beautiful. They're dark horned. They're living in some of the roughest terrain you could ever imagine, some of the coolest animals you could ever hunt. So I'll be back after them, and you know, that's just part of it. You know, I'm 31 years old, and I doubt it's the last time that, you know, I'm going to be let down on a hunt, and I hope it is. But I appreciate everybody watching this. Sorry we weren't able to put more together on the end of this hunt. I'm glad we were able to put Terry's hunt together successfully. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching him kill his first black bear. Make sure you subscribe to the videos, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like this video, drop some comments. If you have questions on any of the gear we used, if you want to go on a hunt, make sure you drop some comments. As always, we appreciate you guys sharing this stuff out. If you guys want to learn anything more about what we do, go to modernoutdoormedia.com, Modern Outdoor Media on Instagram. We've got YouTube. You can find me on Instagram at Westin Yancey. You can find us somewhere. So thanks for watching, and we'll be back at you with another video here soon. And we'll see you again here sometime next time on Modern Outdoor Media.